Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we have a super cool episode. I cannot wait to share it with you guys. It is Beauty and the Beast, Portrait of Love, written and illustrated by Wendy Pini. Yes, ELFQUEST Wendy Pini, one of my favorite artists, one of the most important voices in comic books. Based on the TV series created by Ron Koslow. Remember the hit show back in the day? Linda Hamilton and Ron Perlman. Like, it was a total breakout show, like, way different for its time. Like, it's very groundbreaking. This book is a revelation. It is beautiful. Speaking of, like, groundbreaking, like, total departure from what we're used to with Wendy Pini and ELFQUEST. And just amazing, like, just proves, like what I said, like why she is one of the most important voices in comic books. Amazing art, beautiful storytelling, just like totally blew me away, like exceeded my expectations on all levels. So if that was not enough for you to want to stick around, I don't know what is. Anyway, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and let's get into this one, guys. So this cover is by Olivia de Berardinis. Okay, so forgive me, you know, my grandma wishes we were Italian. We called her Nana, even though we were Swedish and like other things, but that's a story for another video. But anyway, forgive my bad Italian pronunciation. She would be rolling in her grave hearing me say that. Anyway, it's a beautiful cover painting. I love it. I kind of wish, just because I love Wendy Pini's art so much, and I think the interiors are beautiful, and I always feel, especially on a project of this scope and magnitude, that, you know, Wendy put so much love and work and time into this art that she should have done the cover. However, you know, a lot of times, especially with projects like this, they do use other cover artists, and Wendy has said that she didn't feel super confident in capturing likenesses, which I disagree with, which we'll get into on the inside. But this is a beautiful cover. I'm not mad at it. But if they ever collected this, and I don't know the legal ramifications of that, because it seems like a lot of licensing is going on here that I don't know about, and, you know, legal ramifications, and I don't know. This is from like 1989, so I don't know if there's been a collection. There's another volume. We'll get into that later too. But I would love to see this collected, and if it is collected, I would like to see these original covers included, but I would like to see a new cover by Wendy Pini. Hear me? Anyway, Beauty and the Beast. This is a beautiful design for this cover, by the way. I love the font here. Like, it looks really good, because some of the 90s, like, font, we're getting into, like, computer lettering, and some of it looks really bad. And, like, some of the design work, especially on a lot of the Marvel books I reviewed recently from the 90s, just have, like, really ugly. And actually, some of the early Image books, despite the beautiful art, have really bad, like, you know, just like packaging, you know, as far as like when I talk about packaging, it's not just, you know, the art here, it's the decision to make this half the cover and have the, you know, title here and or, you know, I guess this is the main title, the subtitle, the creators. First publishing, you know, good for them. I mean, I feel like they did like a lot of great comics, like Mike Barron's Nexus and Badger. And a lot of their other books are escaping me right now, but I know they did a lot of great books. And, like, when you see the quality level of this book, this is, like, I guess what DC would call their prestige format, and Marvel would call their bookshelf format at the time. Like, glossy paper, higher production value, you know, better showing off of the art. And a little more standard for some of the more independent comics book publishers. I feel like a lot of them were a lot more art forward and, you know, willing to go that extra mile as far as the nicer stock on the paper and things like that. So we have Beauty and the Beast, Portrait of Love, written and illustrated by Wendy Pini, Willie Schubert letters, Laurel Fitch, editor, and cover painting by Olivia de Berardinis. I feel like I did better on that time around. Based on the series created by Ron Koslow. There's an afterword in here. We'll get into that in a second. or I mean, after we look through some of this. But so, in case if you watch my channel, you know that I had the privilege and pleasure of interviewing Wendy Pini recently, and so it's caused me to, you know, look back into ELFQUEST and discover some of the stuff that, you know, I feel like I was peripherally aware of this Beauty and the Beast book by her, but I had never gotten it, and I wasn't into the show at the time, and just for whatever reason, like I feel like it was such a hit show, like Linda Hamilton, Ron Perlman, definitely you know, was a major hit. I feel like it was groundbreaking, and as far as format, I feel like a lot of, you know, formats that sort of broke the mold were always so appealing to people, like Bewitched or The Munsters, or just something with kind of a gimmick in a way, and not a cheap gimmick by way of that. So this is complete. This is a revelation in many ways. It's completely painted by Wendy Pini. And I was trying to think, like, was this her first, like, fully painted work? But then I guess at this point we would have gotten some of ELFQUEST's Hidden Years fully painted. And many, if not all of the covers of the first run, like the warp graphics, beautiful, like 8.5 by 11 size, my favorite. It had all cover paintings and back paintings at the same time. So Wendy Pini is a completely adept painter. But interesting to note that I feel like painting sequential art is definitely got to be a bigger challenge. And it's just gorgeous. I mean, we have this opening page of New York. I always have to point out when the Twin Towers are both there. Like, it just always, you know, sets the tone for a place and time in history. Look at these beautiful portraits. I feel like these were we'll see some sketches in the back. Like, I was excited to see that. I guess Wendy had the opportunity to be on set to do some sketching in preparation for this book, which must have been super exciting for her. Like, I believe she proclaimed to be a huge fan of the show. You know, and I think he originally they wanted her to, like, adapt certain episodes, and she was like, oh no, you know, I want to do original stories. And I think that was so the way to go, like, absolutely, because the story is so good. And it's weird because as the show creator states in the back, like, there is, like, fantasy and action and sort of intrigue involved and mystery and, you know, conflict, but sometimes it's quieter and just more, I don't know, reflective in certain ways. And I feel like this is so good as an original story companion to the series, because Wendy brings, you know, something new to the mythos of the characters and the story. However, it's so personal on so many levels because it's basically, and spoilers, sorry, but, like, this is from 1989, so, you know, if you haven't heard by now, you know, if nothing else, if you don't want to be spoiled, just turn it off and read it and then come back. And if you don't mind, because it's still worth reading, whether I spoil it to you or not, because it's not necessarily a plot point per se, but just the fact that this is a huge love letter to art and artists. I love this so much. We have, like, Vincent's underground dwelling here, and it is just gorgeous. It is so beautifully lit and golden and gilded and just gorgeous. Like I said, if I say gorgeous a lot, then I'm sorry, but it's freaking gorgeous. Signature Wendy Pini, like, circular panel there. I love that. Like, such great storytelling going on. And, you know, this is what I love, and I pointed this out in certain John Byrne videos, is, like, the key. And I feel like, you know, this is, like, Wendy deserves extra special credit from coming up, like, you know, like, doing ELFQUEST kind of on her own, along with, you know, her partner and co-creator and editor and publisher, co-writer Richard, and husband, of course. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they took it super seriously and, like, you know, definitely, like, like never took shortcuts, and I feel like she has not taken shortcut here at all. Like there's so much information going on in this page. There's this beautiful statue here showcasing like one of Wendy's strengths in drawing like really beautiful sort of fantasy, like fairy kind of women. I just freaking love, and I feel like it pops up in different places, this sort of very Tiffany looking lamp. And I have to say, in the past few years, I've become quite a huge fan of Antiques Roadshow. So, you know, any viewer of that knows how exciting it is, like when a fun Tiffany lamp pops up. So that's sort of like loving that. Like, I don't know, like this great underworld. Like, I feel like there's such an appreciation, and like there's such a, you know, at this point, Wendy's established, you know, she's done ELFQUEST, and I feel like she doesn't have anything to prove, but in a way, I feel like she's one of those artists who gives till it hurts and like goes that extra mile and does feel like she has something to prove in a way. Like, and that's why I found her so relatable, especially when I talked to her in my exclusive interview with her, which I feel like I should leave a link in the description, because we talk a lot about art, and I would love to talk. We're supposed to talk again after I read the ELFQUEST, the end, but I'm still not mentally prepared. And I found a couple series that I have missed, so it's going to be a hot minute. I'm in no hurry to end my new torrid love affair with ELFQUEST and Wendy Pini, by the way. Oh my god, I have to point out, because I forgot. Wait, where does it point out? Like, oh, I say this. Yes. Oh my god, this, like I said, this whole thing is like Wendy Pini's love letter to art and artists, and it can be encapsulated in this panel here. Before we do that, and I know that's a horrible teaser, but is this not Greg Allman here? Like, I keep thinking Greg Allman, and I'm thinking, oh, he's kind of like, I don't know, I get it. You know, I feel like Cher should be Beauty at this point, but I'm just living my own fantasy, because I've got, like, sort of, like, the Arthur cast as this woman here. I don't know. Anyway, I love how expressive Wendy Pini's faces are. I think she captured the Beast perfectly. He looks gorgeous. This painting is so good. Like, the palette is so consistent, and this is before she went digital, so I'm wondering, like, a little bit how she's working here. And if we do talk again, which I would love to, I want to go deeper into the art and your process, and because I love and respect your art so much, and it's so gorgeous. And more Tiffany lamps, oh my god, is that not amazing? Like, so silly for me to, like, love this. And I love this character Mouse. I feel like, okay, so this is digital lettering from Willie Schubert. I feel like, because this is what was applied to later ELFQUEST, I think Wendy said, was a font being created from her lettering. And I feel like this is what's happening here, because it very much looks like her Y. And I could be wrong, but, you know, we'll clear it up in my exclusive follow-up interview. By the way, this is so gorgeous, and I'm so glad this is on such good paper, because if you watch my channel, and of course you should, but some of the comics I look at are like super old on newsprint, and you know, some of that newsprint does not hold up very well. It gets super yellow. Look at this beautiful panel here with this like stained glass window, and here's Beast. Okay, oh my god, yes. Oh my god, can you believe I almost glazed over the most important reason, the like life-changing moment of the whole book for me. This whole book is so amazing, and this is the panel here. If you could like do one takeaway panel and have it be like the whole reason for the book. Artists are truly blessed, aren't they? The moments they capture, however intimate, become personal to everyone shared. It's a rare gift. Oh, isn't that amazing? So it's so true. You know what I mean? I think about artists, like, and it's funny because I've said this before and I'll say it again, but now I was thinking about Wendy, like, drawing and painting this, and it's, like, such a personal moment. Like, in a way, it's a sacrifice, but also it's, like, a passion, a must, a desire, like, just sitting here and drawing each little line of hair, and, like, this was all hand-rendered with so much love, and it's so beautiful. I love the, like, discarded concept sketches here. So amazing. He's basically like you know, I don't know, Forbidden Love, you know, Beauty and the Beast, such a great story, tale as old as time. Stevie Nicks, one of my favorite songs, Beauty and the Beast, inspired by the Cocteau Twins 1940s movie, which apparently must be amazing. Like, you guys should all watch it after watching this episode, because I feel like I've seen it, but not in a long time, and I feel like it just moved and inspired people in so many ways. Not just the guy who created the show, who was clearly inspired by that, but also Wendy Pini as well, as I think she mentioned to me in my exclusive interview with her. Anyway, did this really happen? This is horrifying. Like, she got cut the F up in her face. Like, oh my God, how awful. How did she heal? What's happening? Fill in the gaps, please. Somebody in the comments. There's got to be, like, huge diehard Beauty and the Beast fans out there. By the way, stay tuned for part 2, because I accidentally started reading it first, then I realized this one took place first. There are 2 of these babies, and they are so gorgeous. Like, you should see the opening 2-page spread of the next one. Like, that is my teaser. If that is not enough reason to subscribe to my channel, because, like, you don't want to miss the coverage on that 100%. This art is just beautiful. Like, it's so weird to look at it as, like, such a hardcore fan of Elfquest. Here's a weird thing that happened when I was looking at this. Sometimes it looks like the 4th finger is weird and doesn't belong, and that's so, you know, like, my mind is programmed to seeing Wendy draw elves. And it's also like, I did this fan art of Winnow Will recently, and on one of her hands I did 5 fingers, and a fan immediately called me out, of course, as they should, because, you know, a good fan would know that. And I thought I was so embarrassed. But in my defense, she's a shapeshifter, so maybe something weird was happening with her finger. I mean, sometimes they sprout an extra finger, don't you? Love is the circular panels here. The storytelling is just, like, amazing and beautiful and consistent, and I love it. And so, Beast, like, this is what I love. Like, what I say, this is a love letter to art and artists. Like, Beast is trying to, like, express his love for Linda Hamilton. And he like is going to do this painting and this, you know, this sort of I guess I don't know if she was part of the show or if Wendy created her as part of her story. Either way, I love her, and I hope she was part of the show, because she is so freaking cool. But she's sort of like a, you know, she's reminding me of my story with Brian Payne, where we did Old Lady Voodoo, where she's sort of like a, I don't know, like a mystic and a fortune teller in a way. I mean, who doesn't love a character like that? I'm low-key scared to do, like, a voodoo story, but I guess I already did one. Anyway, but, you know, she gives this sort of ominous warning. And it's weird, because it's like, you know, I talk about Wendy Pini being, like, one of the most important cartoonists. Also, oh my God, you guys, like, how does this pop out of nowhere? This great underground place that is obviously, like, full of, like, it's, like, basically, like, the Bat Cave, but of, like, weird, crazy, homeless people with sort of a fairy tale slant. But there's a lava lamp. I mean, do you not love seeing Wendy Pini paint a lava lamp? I low-key want to see, like, Cutter with, like, his bearskin rug and, like, a lava lamp. Anyway. Like, this face is so great. I love this. Like, I don't 100% know these actors at all. Like, obviously, I know Ron Perlman and Linda Hamilton. But, you know, Wendy, like, I feel like it's so weird, because it's like, I feel like this definitely shows Wendy's, like, versatility as a creator. Like, I feel like, you know, the core of who she is as an artist is still resonates through this. You know, there's, you know, she's trying to portray this, like, great message, and I feel like, you know, the creator of the show talks about the Beast's otherness, and Wendy talked about the otherness, and she talks about the otherness with Elfquest and her own otherness, so I think that was a huge draw of this to her. And I kind of love that, I don't know, like, it's just as much about as art, because he like, labors over this, I don't know, like it just goes deeper than I feel like I even know, like he just labors over this portrait of her to express his love for her, and she sees it and the important people see it, but it winds up getting destroyed by these buttholes. See, look how good that is. Like, that looks just like Linda Hamilton to me. And that beautiful face there. These are, like, gorgeous art. I love her, too. I forgot her name. I'm so sorry. Anyway, it's just fun. It's really fun to see someone you love and respect so much as an artist. Like, because I felt like and I don't know if this was a deterrent. I don't know if it was because I was, like, sneaking into gay bars, and I missed the boat on this. I don't know what happened. I mean, this is freaking gorgeous. Part of me does, like, I super do love, like, black and white comic book art and inking, even if it is colored, but I just love inking so much. And I feel like, especially when this came out, this predates Alex Ross a little bit. So I don't know how well this was received at the time, aside from the fact that it's completely gorgeous. But it is weird. It's like it's a disconnect for comic fans at the time. I mean, I definitely do feel like Alex Ross normalized it. And I'm kind of wondering what kind of feedback she got. Because, I mean, it's undeniably gorgeous. And my friend Sam J, this looks like something he would paint. Like, so, like, just cool. Very good. Very, very much looking forward. We're almost done here. And I'm already looking forward to the second one because it is equally as amazing. But I don't know, the story just really spoke to me. The characters are just so well done. And the art is just beautiful. And it's top notch. And it gives with this great fiery finale with like so much gravitas. And it's amazing. It's just beautiful. Do yourselves a favor. If you're an ELFQUEST fan, a Wendy Pini fan, a Beauty and the Beast fan, or just a fan of, like, some really good... Like, I mean, I feel like I expressed a little bit, like, how meaningful the story was and how moving it is, but you kind of gotta read it yourself to get into it. So find it, get it, and enjoy it. And stay tuned. Subscribe for part 2. Hit like, share, subscribe, and I'll bring you more soon. Beauty and the Beast, Portrait of Love, written and illustrated beautifully by Wendy and Pini. A true masterpiece. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later.